Hey guys, I know it's been a while. I want for almost 2 months now. I've just had a lot going on, and I apologize for the delay of what's to come. I got to take a vacation, and I got blessed with some money, and I hadn't got to take a vacation, like a real vacation, in over right at 10 years now. So I decided to knock something off my bucket list. I had made an internet friend back, I think, around March last year. His name is Zeus. His real name's Joseph, but we made friends through me reading tarot cards and stuff. And we both love snakes. That's how we really found each other, was through his cousin's group. And I looked him up and found out he had snakes, and he's really cool. We made friends, and he started watching me read tarot cards. Well, me and him were talking about snakes one night on the phone, and I was like telling him that I watched this guy online on YouTube, and he's on my Instagram. His name's Brian. I'll probably say his last name wrong. Barsak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyhow, Brian has a reptarium, and he has these reticulated pythons, and they're 18 and 20 feet. And one's name's Lucy, and one's name's Daisy. And I want to meet Daisy. Daisy is this yellow and white reticulated python, and she's just, oh my God, she's gorgeous. Because about 2.5 years ago, I overcame my fear of snakes. And I had that on my bucket list, that if I could hold one of those, or meet one of those, preferably hold one of them, that I would overcome my fear fully if I held a big snake. So I was talking to him and telling him how, I loved watching the videos of Daisy and this, that, and the other. And he said, he's like, Brian's right here in Michigan. I said, what? So come to find out, that's about an hour and 26 minutes from Zeus's home. And I just said, screw it, and I hopped in my car, and I drove all the way to Michigan. So I got to go do a lot of fun things. I'm going to kind of work reverse of the trip to the good stuff. So the small thing that I got to do while I was up in Michigan, I got introduced to Big B Coffee. This is their local brewery. I don't know if you can get this online. I saw it looked up. It's called Michigan Cherry. Really, really strong. Really good. It tastes like a cordial cherry, but it's not that strong when you drink it. You might have a little sugar, a little half and half in with it, because it is strong. You can smell it through the bag. It's wonderful coffee. This would be great for Christmas time. Glad I took a chance on that, because I couldn't sample it. I brought a bag of that home with me. About $11. Really, really good. Him and Katie introduced me to the Big B. Also, on the way up, I had not been in Ohio since I think I was under a year old, what Dad told me. My dad worked in Fairborn, Ohio, up at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I didn't stop on the way back, and when I make another trip up there, I am going to stop at the Air Force Base. My dad was a bartender there for almost 10 years. So I got to ride through Cincinnati and all that, and when I was riding through there, I turned my video on while I was driving through and going under the bridge there in Ohio. That was pretty exciting, being somewhere that I hadn't been since I was a child. I don't even have memory of it. I was so young. So got to do that. That was a lot of fun. At the end of the trip, there was a local cemetery called Mount Hope Cemetery. I rode through that. You'll get to see a video of that. It's about 14 minutes and some change. I get to see a really, really pretty cemetery there in the fall. I think I went up October 9th. And October 9th, I believe, is when I went up. My mom's death anniversary is a little grim topic, but it's October 6th of 2012, and every year on her anniversary, I try to do something fun. I go get a tattoo, I go get a piercing, and celebrate that I'm alive. I celebrate life and try to do something fun. Well, this year I was able to take that vacation, so Mom ended up going on vacation with me. A lot of people might think it's creepy, but I have a little pendant that I have some brashes in, and when I go on trips, I go get tattoos and shit, I take her with me. So, anyhow, got to do that. Those were the smaller things that I got to enjoy and do, and just getting to walk the streets up there, being in the city and stuff. That was a lot of fun. I had the best time. It was a wonderful thing. It was a blessing that Zeus, once we made sure everything was cool and comfortable, that I was able to stay with them. That saved me a motel bill. Very thankful for that. that was my first online friend that I've ever met, and I've got people in Pennsylvania I want to meet, people in Texas. I got people a little bit everywhere, and hopefully one day I'll get to meet you guys. I have had some friends for over 10 years online, and hopefully one day I'll get to meet them. I have 2 friends over in England. I don't know if that one will happen, but maybe. I know one of them's sons flew over here to play soccer here in the States, so that's pretty cool. My friend Carl. And then my friend Kate at hers wants to get my home where it needs to be. I was like, you and the kids can come over if you want, come stay with me. It's nice to meet good people. It's been a blessing. So really, really excited about actually getting to meet people in the flesh. So let's go to the next fun thing that I did. While I was in Michigan, Zeus had found, it's called the Anatomy of Death Museum. I can't remember where they're located at without looking it up. But the man that runs it, his name's Todd, and his wife and him run that, and it is super, super, super fucking cool. If you are into dead things, you have to be 18 and up to get in, which I highly recommend that if you do have kids, if they're not 16, at least don't even. It's, some of the stuff in there is very dark, very grim. You get to see stuff from funeral homes and bombing things. There's going to be, I have a small video from there, and I have a lot more pictures that I'll upload to Instagram and hopefully Facebook. If you'd like to follow me at Ursula Snow Terra on YouTube, you can see all these videos and more of where I took my vacation. You get to see some really cool things, and if you go over my Instagram, it's just Ursula Snow, and you get to see all the pictures of where I took the trip. So, awesome place, awesome people. If you're into buying some cool things, like when you get out of the shop, they have mummified bats, they have coffee mugs, they have all kinds of cool stuff. Bags. Also, before I forget, I've got a list here. These earrings are handmade. I'm just going to spell her name because I don't want to mispronounce it. It's Milaka, Morbid, on Etsy. These are river otter bones. She has fox earrings, she has bat bones, she even has collar necklaces, kind of like Egyptians, but it's bones and all kinds of neat stuff. And that's on the back right-hand side of the shop, in their gift shop. But when you go into this death museum, to me, it's almost like walking into a club because they're playing all kinds of stuff, like Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, and then just some of this deep underground, dark music. While you're in there taking the tour, it's really, really badass. Got TV screens going where you can see videos, of autopsies and all kinds of shit. They've got embalming kits from, I think, like the 60s and the 70s. You'll get to see real human skulls. There's a preserved heart. I think there's Siamese twins in this one encasing. There's just so much, and they have a little book, which I'm going to have pictures of that, and you can see that, and it tells what each item is and where it came from and everything and all the history. There's a lot to take in. Real reasonable to get in. I think it was $10. That's awesome, and you get to spend as much time in there as you want, as long as they're not heavily trafficked at that moment. So much fun. You get to learn so much. You get to see so much of, funeral home life, the occult. If you're into any of that, it's a great place to stop when you're up in Michigan. It's fantastic, and it's about 10-15 minutes from the Reptarium. So, Anatomy and Death Museum, stop in there, see Todd, say hello, great place. I definitely go back. Also, one more thing that I thought was super cool about the Death Museum, something just I thought was a nice touch. When you walk into the museum from the gift shop, the door you go through is body bags. So you're walking through body bags when you go in there. Really, really cool. We took pictures standing in front of the body bags. It's just really, really neat. Kind of makes me think of The Undertaker, which was one of my mom's favorite wrestlers. Side note. So, alright, on to the big part. The whole reason I went on the trip, besides meeting my internet friend, I got to go to Brian's Reptarium. And let me tell you, it was worth every minute, every mile. I think I traveled 616 miles from my home, I think. To his place, so almost 700 miles to go to this Reptarium. I had it on my bucket list. My ultimate goal was to actually be able to swim with one of those reticulated pythons, but if they do this expansion, which I haven't seen anything about it yet, but if they do this expansion and do another building, you'll be able to swim the snakes and hopefully the alligators. So what I already had in my head is going to become a thing. It's in the works. So that would be awesome if I could go back and swim with Daisy. That would be a dream come true, and actually get to hold her. So when I was there, you can hold almost any of them in there as long as they haven't eaten or they're not going through a shed process. It's $10 and you can walk through. You get an hour. So anyhow, I got to meet all these amazing reptiles. You'll get to meet these, I can't remember what kind of iguana it is, but it's this really big iguana. Her name's Bella. She's super sweet. If you go, she's in my videos. You'll get to see Bella. Bella, she loves to be petted, and if you pull your hand away, she looks at you like, are you kidding me? You're done? She loves to be petted. Lot of cute animals. We had a lot of good experiences and got to hold some of the most amazing reptiles. It was amazing. I can't emphasize how oh my god, I wish I'd made this video when I got home. I've probably been more hyper than I am now, but I just can't explain how amazing this was for me to get to go face my fear, to get to hold the big snake. So they weren't getting Daisy out because she's shedding and Lucy's temperamental, so they just get Daisy out for people, to hold or pet. They wouldn't get her out because she's shedding, and Zeus ended up talking to Brian, and I was just around the corner and overheard some of it. And Zeus come and got me and told me, he said, come on. He said, Brian said he's going to make it worth your while. So he opened Daisy's enclosure, and I done stood there and had Zeus take pictures of me in front of her enclosure just because I knew I wasn't going to get to pet her. I want pictures with her. And he opened up her enclosure, crawled in there even though she's shedding, and he got her out for me, and I've got video of it. If somebody had to ask me, what was the top 10 days of your life, this would probably make the top 5 because this is something that I'm just very passionate about and wanted to do. He got her out for me, and I got to hold her head and part of her neck. She really didn't want to be touched. She didn't feel good because she was shedding. And I got to, at least touch her. I didn't get to hold her, but I did get to actually meet Daisy. And she ended up she didn't want nothing to do with anybody, and she ended up slithering back into her enclosure. And while she's slithering in there, he was pulling shed off her, and he probably pulled 3 or 4 foot of shed off her. And mind you, they make jewelry and sell jewelry with the shed online, and he had put the shed, in the enclosure. He just took it off of her and laid it in there. He said, hold on a second, kind of thing, and he reached back in there, and he gave me a piece of her shed, which I still don't know what I'm going to do with it. If you guys got any ideas, put in the comment section down below and give me your ideas. I've thought about making Christmas ornaments. I've thought about framing it. I've thought about making jewelry, but he gave me a piece of Daisy. So not only did I get to meet Daisy, I got to bring a piece of her home with me. And that, I could almost cry. It was so worth the drive. I got to bring home a piece of my journey of things that I'm doing in life. So I got that. And also, to show you some little trinkets that I picked up. I picked up a Reptarium cup. I eat cereal out of it. I drink my coffee out of it. I guess I'm just a really big fan. And then I got me a little friend here. Take him everywhere. This is Papa Legba. I guess that's what we're going to stick with. Sometimes I just call him Papa, but originally Papa Legba is what popped up in my head. I have a stuffed snake now. Until I get me a real one eventually. Hopefully I'll be able to afford one day to make me an enclosure and get me a big retic. That's what I would love to do. So, if you are in the Michigan area, go check it out. It is amazing. It's totally worth the drive. But also, not to discredit any of the other reptiles, and they're amazing. They have a monitor lizard named Chicken Strip, and all I could think about was, if anybody's ever seen the Rescuers Down Under, where they go to Australia, I can't remember the villain's name, but he had a monitor lizard. She was green instead of the white and yellow. Her name was Joanna, and I was a kid, my middle name's Joanne. So I remember him screaming at that damn lizard, Joanna! And, when I seen that lizard, I was like, oh my god, look, it's a Joanna. That's all I could think about. I was like, so I got to see a monitor lizard, just all these great things. And the, I was sitting in the car, and you can see through the window and watching everybody holding the snakes and stuff through the gift shop in there. And I seen this real big yellow snake out, which, mind you, I'd already got pictures of this one and seen it, but it's a step smaller probably. I should ask how long it is. I could probably look it up, but it's a step below Daisy and Lucy as far as, length. 10, 12 foot or 12 to 15 foot. So I got the next best step as far as holding a large reticulated python. I seen it through the window, and I was like, "Oh my God, I want to meet this snake." So I was like, all they can do is tell me to leave. So I walked through the gift shop, and I said, "Is there any way I could hold that snake and get a picture with it?" And the guy let me hold him. His name's Jay, very, very nice young man, and he took pictures of me holding Al Mochino. It's Al Mochino instead of Al Pacino. He's also a reticulated python. Yellow, beautiful. I love yellow snakes. They're my favorite. Beautiful, beautiful snake. I did not want to give it back. I just want to sit on the floor and hold him and, just hang out with him. So all that's really cool. Also, I believe her name was Beth. Pretty sure is the lady. She gave me a list of the staff that was on there that day with Brian, Lori, Jay, Olivia, Beth, Ashley, and it looks like Genesis. Shout out to all you guys. You were fantastic. Thank you for your time and being so wonderful to me and my friend. He's a local Michigan person, but I came all the way from Tennessee, and you guys give me one of the best experiences of my life. And I will be back. If I'm ever in the area, I will come visit and come see the snakes. But also, guys, when you stop in there, I'm pretty sure it was Beth that I spoke to. She had curly hair. I'll have her put pictures of everybody. I took pictures with a lot of the people that worked at the Reptarium. Because here's the thing, without them guys, we wouldn't have that Reptarium. We wouldn't get to see these snakes. They're the ones that take care of them and, let people touch them and hold them and pet them and everything. So always remember to say thank you when you go in there, because without them, we wouldn't have those reptiles in that enclosure. They take care of them every day. It's part of their home. So I think that's all I had to talk about. Other than the fact that I got to meet some of my internet friends. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm so grateful that I got to meet Zeus, Katie, and Athena, and Star. Very lovely people. They welcomed me into their home, and we had a really great time. I'm trying to think if there's any other local foods. I can't remember the name of that place that they got the chicken nuggets from. But got to try some really good food. Got to try some Chinese food in the area. I can't remember the name of those restaurants because they ordered in. But a lot of fun. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Michigan, go do it. I think it's Utica is where, I think that's the name of the town that the Reptarium's in. I'd have to look it up. But it was amazing. I know I'm probably driving you guys crazy, but oh my God, it was just, I didn't want to leave. If we hadn't had to go to the Anatomy Museum, we got out earlier. If Zeus would have went back in for another hour, I would have paid his way and must have done another hour just get in there and to hold those snakes and see them and be with them and all those lizards and stuff. I'm trying to also, this little part of our trip start popping into my head. What was their names? I think it was Hans and French's. Those little iguanas that they had in there. I think that was their names, but there was like 4 different things in this tank. But these pretty sure they were iguanas. These little iguanas, little lizards. This one, he had climbed up onto a branch in front of us. He lost his balance, he fell, and he went in the water. But he wanted our attention as stand there. It was so funny. So he started running across the tank. I don't know if he wanted out, what he wanted. But he ran across the tank, and I've got pictures of him hanging up on the side of the tank, and he's looking at us. And while he's trying to look at us and get our attention, he falls back again. He was a hoot. I don't know which one he was. But friggin' hilarious. These animals, they are great. So, I'm trying to think if there's any other animals that stood out to me, and there any other reptiles. Getting to meet Al Mochino was a shit, and getting to meet Daisy, that was highlight of my trip, getting to meet those snakes. That was fantastic. They've got all kinds of stuff in there. Frogs, alligators, you name it, they've got it. Definitely swing by and say hi to everybody there. Very wonderful staff. I really can't think of anything else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that made my trip to Michigan special. It was my first trip that I drove by myself that far away from my home. It's kind of sad that I'm just, I'm older and this is the first trip that I've drove alone. Total of I think counting stops, I think it was right under 11 hours. It was fantastic. Went through Kentucky, went through Ohio, got to see some pretty countryside through there. Let's see, was there anything that just stood out that was amazing? I mean, I just got to see a lot of Prairie. I think I enjoyed riding through Ohio the most. Getting to see all that big city and all that, it was really pretty. I wouldn't want to live in a big city, but I like, being within 30, 40 minutes and being able to go do things or just go visit. It was a lot of fun just to see all the bridges and all the buildings and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. It kind of reminded me of going through Jersey. So, I guess I can't express how much fun I had. I really needed that. I really should take a trip like that, like every 2 or 3 years. Just go. Just get in the car and go. It was very fulfilling. So, I have worked on one of my fears. I got to hold really big snakes. And they were very sweet. I wish that I could encourage more people to not be afraid of them, because I was afraid of them for years. So if you have a fear, work on it a day at a time. I finally gave myself a B12 shot last year. I just didn't think I could give other people shots, but I gave myself shots. So if there's something you need to work on, a step at a time. I started with a baby snake and I moved up. And it's been a blessing since I've learned to love snakes, because there's so many people afraid of them. I've had people come into my life. I made an internet friend. I've made so many friends. I've actually got, when I've been in pet stores locally, I've got 2 people that had never touched a snake before that was afraid to. I've got 2 people to touch them. So, they're not that scary. They just want warmth and they want to be fed. They're chill. They make great pets. I don't know. I wish there was something else that I could say, or in the fact that they started out as part of my journey. Something told me they were part of my journey, and here I am, keep going forward with them. I believe it was the Greeks, I think I read. I'm not 100% Greeks, Romans, but I think it was the Greeks. They used to, when people would get sick, they would put the sick in the temples with the snakes, because they say that snakes are messing people are thinking, oh, you're fucking crazy. No. I'm guaranteed, I would love to, check my blood pressure when I'm having a bad day, and then go in and put a snake on me and check my blood pressure again. I know they help with my blood pressure, even though I don't have blood pressure problems. Everybody spikes because they're stressed out and stuff, but, it's medicine. They calm me. I can't explain it. Cutting hair calms me. Riding a motorcycle calms me. Holding snakes has become one of those things in my life. Cannot wait to have 1 or 2, maybe more, for pets. I love them. They're great. Hope I'm not freaking anybody out talking about snakes. So, a little disclaimer, I'll put it on the YouTube video. Hey, we're going to talk about creepy crawlies. So, hope you guys learned something. Hope you look forward to seeing the videos, and I will see you soon. Hope you enjoy the videos. Some of them are really, really short, but you'll get to take a vacation with me, basically, and get to see some of the things that I got to see. Like I said, make sure to hop over to Instagram, because I'm going to put most of the pictures on Instagram a little at a time. The videos should be popping up in the next few days, so I'm looking forward to everybody seeing it. So, say bye, Papa. Till next time, guys. Love yous.